Hello and welcome to another video. This is IB Gaming. Today we are playing Mudrunner, a driving simulation game running your vehicles across all sorts of mad terrains, mostly in mud, as you can imagine by the name of the game, to achieve objectives, most of the time collecting lumber from logging areas and taking them to lumber mills. So the game has a couple of different modes. You've got a single player mode where you go through different maps, and you've also got challenge mode, which is where you can effectively learn new skills. We're going to be going for the single player mode, starting on the first map, the bog. As you can see, I have previously achieved something on here, but I will be starting again for the purpose of this, just to sort of show you what to do and going from scratch basically. So on the right hand side you can see the bog allows 7 balance points, which means you are allowed 7 stars worth of vehicles. As you can see, we've got a 2-star, a 3-star and a 1-star, giving us a 6-star total. So we can have another star, but just to see what we've actually got selected here and what we will be going for, I'm going to actually choose 2 3-star vehicles and 1 1-star, and I will explain that in a moment. So I'm going to pick that one. So it's C4310, C375, which are your heavy class vehicles, and a recallable A469, which will be used for reconnaissance and a level of recovery as well, filling out our 7 points. So we'll be starting the game in casual mode, which means to win, well, to unlock all the objectives at least on the map, unlock all garages and reach all the waypoints. But I will show you what that means, as well as, of course, delivering all the lumber. But you'll see what this is all about when we start. Okay, and here we are. So this is the starting point. If I just begin by showing you how the map looks. So we're starting here, and it actually works better. I'm using a control pad for this game, and not a steering wheel or anything, but I've still got a mouse plugged in and my keyboard plugged in and everything. So actually I find this map is better using the mouse and keyboard, to be quite honest with you, as I do for some other parts of the game, which we might see. But the one we're in red, you can see the A469 we're currently in. And just next to us as well, we've got the C4310. The other vehicles are in other places, and you can see that they are locked. In fact, I think all of our vehicles are here, but we just can't see one of them. I think that's probably the reason. These other ones, you can see they've got padlocks. We can use these if we get to them. So they've got like a little vicinity around them, and if we can get to the vicinity, we unlock them, we can use them for other things. And all of those things might become more apparent at some point, in that you can change vehicles and do different things with them. The objective is to, the main objective at least, for the log station, so go to this log station up here, or this one up here, which you can see top left hand corner, collect in total 8 logs, delivering them down to the lumber mill. That sounds easy, doesn't it? But I can assure you it isn't. Along the way, as you can see, if we choose to go this way, you've got some dark areas of the map. You can't see any roads or anything really, so you've got these watch points, and if you unlock the watch points, you allow the map to be shown. Fuel up here is really important, because if you run out of fuel, you of course need to get to that before you run out of fuel, otherwise you're stuffed. So what we'll try and do, and this is just my strategy, I'm sure other people might play this in a different way, is to take our lighter vehicle, so the A469, up to here, to these watch points, to unlock some other roads so we can see more clearly where we're going. We could of course take our larger vehicle straight up to the top here at the log station to collect, but then it wouldn't be able to be demonstrating to you how effectively the reconnaissance vehicle to unlock the watch points at work. So for the purpose of this, at least, we'll try and unlock maybe these 2 watch points in the A469. And I say try because I might get stuck, and we'll go from there. So this is, anything can happen. Just because I played it before doesn't mean something can't go wrong. So what we'll start by doing is we'll plan out some plot points, and this is where the mouse comes in. So you can't just click on a place on the map and sat-nav finishes it off, because there aren't such thing as roads, not really. And these might look like roads, but I can assure you they're not. You just move that around a little bit. There we go. This is just very rough, just so you can get an idea of where you're going. We're going to follow this road up to here, and then all of this might become a bit more apparent. We're going to look out for this watch point up here, and then you'll see the map become free. And then maybe at that point we'll decide to get another vehicle and come back and just use this one once I show you how you can do the watch points. But ultimately, actually, we'll need the fuel station up here as well, maybe. But there is one over on the left, so maybe not. But you'll get an idea. So each vehicle's got a different capacity, so we'll need to change the vehicle. So just use the advanced menu. Actually, no, we won't do that. It's more going to be a case of doing it from here. There we go. That's the one. So we'll switch to that one. There we go. This is the one. So when you start at the garage, a garage is where you can equip things to your vehicle. So you go into the advanced menu using the up or down arrows, and you can attach anything that's shown in this menu. Different vehicles can attach different things. So the scout trailer will allow you to carry 200 repair points, 60 repair points, and 200 repair points, and 80 litres of fuel. So we've actually got some reserve fuel on board, as well as if we do any damage to ourselves, we can effectively fix ourselves and other vehicles if we were playing with other vehicles, or if we put another vehicle out, we could go and effectively rescue it and get it fixed. So we've now got a little waypoint selected. We'll try and get to the first watch point, so we'll just show you how the mechanics of the vehicle go. So start the engine, which is just right trigger on the control pad to accelerate, and it actually starts the engine. On the left hand side here, you can see you've got different options. You've got diff lock and all wheels. So all wheels is 4x4. Diff lock means all of your wheels will be turning at the same rate, meaning you've got better traction. Using four-wheel drive and diff lock means that you will end up using more fuel, and you'll see the fuel gauge there. So you do have to kind of work out when and when you shouldn't be using these things. You've got a horn, you've got lights, which I always keep on anyway, and you've got the inside view. It's quite basic, but it's quite good fun to switch between this view and the outside view. The outside view is good if you're trying to navigate somewhere. So as you can see, we might struggle just getting out of here. So I tend to avoid 4x4 and diff lock unless we really need it, because it just burns up excess fuel. And this is by no means a racing game, so I'm going to whack my four-wheel drive on, I think. Not my diff lock at this stage. We're not struggling enough yet. It's quite a nice light vehicle. We'll go into the cab for a moment. I find it's easier to drive, but then again, it is kind of nicer to see the graphics on the outside as well. I'm going to put the diff lock on now because it does help to feather the throttle as well, so rather than just ram your foot down. There we go, put a bit of diff lock on. We're progressing a bit better now. And obviously with the trailer on as well, it's going to be a bit more of a slog. I'm trying to keep out of the mud a little bit, just by keeping some wheels on this right hand side. Oh, so you can hit things and they do send you straight off. Lucky I didn't get any damage there, but I'm sure it'll come. You can't avoid things like this the whole way. It is impossible. You're going to get caught at some point. Now, I find it easier to drive in the inside view, but as I say, if you're trying to maneuver into position for whatever reason, trying to hook up with some logs or whatever, then the outside view is probably better for that. So these are really cool, like the terrain changes. So we've gone from a really bad road to these humongous mud pits. And this is where you really have to maybe think about your route a little more. I mean, you couldn't get away with no diff lock here. I can probably get through this puddle in this. And I say probably. If we keep close to the edge, we can always use our winch to pull us out using some of the surrounding trees, which is possibly a tool. Actually, you know what? I'm not actually stuck, but I'll show you. So if you go into the advanced mode and you attach a winch, and this is where the mouse comes in, you can see you've got these different winch points, so you can start your winch from any of these points that are showing. So ideally, in this case, you just swing the camera around. We'll use our front winch and click that once, and you can attach your winch to pretty much anything that's got a dot. So to drag the winch in, you hold Y, so that pulls you, and you can also accelerate and steer at the same time. If you were stuck, which I wasn't, it would pull you out of a fine mess. So I'll whack my handbrake on there while I go back into advanced mode and release my winch. And I should just be able to carry on as normal, taking the brake off. And say I wasn't stuck then, but it was just to give you a demonstration of that. So we're aiming for those watch points so we can unlock some more of the map. May need to demonstrate to you how to get to a watch point and what it does exactly. And if you're working as a team, so say cooperative mode or even on your own, and you're using different vehicles over time, it helps to show the map first. Because if you've got a humongous one of those vehicles that we started off, one of those lorries at the beginning, and you drive through an area that you kind of blind to, and you don't know what it's showing on the map, you can get stuck just because of the weight of them. Because they've got humongous wheels doesn't mean they'll get out of anything. They won't necessarily be able to recover from every scenario. Because of their sheer weight, they just get stuck. The advantage of this, smaller wheels, but it's lighter. And it tends to be able to be a bit more adaptable through different terrains. We can probably just cut through here, to be honest. This is what I mean about no roads. I'm going to take diff lock off for a minute. Yeah, because you know, you don't have a set road at all. You just literally go where it allows you to go. If you find a route in between trees, take that route in between the trees. I'll put the diff lock on. I think I'm a bit stuck. There we go. There's a big log in the way. See what I mean? It's very variable. And these vehicles do take on damage. But you've got to be careful, obviously. There we go, we've got around that. So on occasion when I first started playing this, you would try and drive through the woods because you think, oh, that's a shortcut, you know. Save a bit of time. Doesn't work like that, unfortunately. If you get stuck, especially if you've got a trailer, you've had it. I'm going to come off road a little bit here, but you see this little rocks just in front of me there? They will damage you if you hit them too hard. So clamber over them very gradually. Now our guide markers run out, so it looks like we're moving up the map. But we don't actually expose the map until we get to a watch point. So we're actually still guessing at this point, but because we're in the better vehicle for it, exploring is much more sensible in something like this. If we were in one of those big lorries at the beginning, we might not get stuck, but then we've got more chance of getting stuck if we don't know the terrain. At least when we take the watch point, we can see, in inverted commas, the better roads that our larger vehicles can take to go and gather the logs. So we're really guessing at this point, so let's just follow this to an extent. If you look through here, that looks very boggy. In fact, it's just basically a river where we are. This is what I mean. We could get very stuck in a moment. There's plenty of trees around to pull us out. What we're going to aim to do is get over there. I'm going to maybe try and get in between these trees. Being careful while I do so, obviously. I'm trying to be. Some trees will bend, like these ones, under you. The bigger ones that look more solid, you'll just damage yourself, so there we go, we got through that, okay. We're actually going in the right direction here. We've kind of got to head out a little bit to the right. But this is very much exploratory, so, and in all fairness, I don't even remember the routes, because I know I have found these watch points before even. It's still just me exploring. Look how boggy that is there, you wouldn't want to get stuck in there. There we go, can you see there's a flag? There we are, that's what we're looking for. So, let's just shimmy through here, feathering that throttle. Don't put it all down in one go. And in fact, if you've got a steering wheel and pedals, this is probably easier to thread than feather, sorry, than a controller. There we go. So we've unlocked it, which is excellent. So what you'll now see, sorry, let me put my parking brake on. But let's just turn the engine off to save a bit of fuel. You can see we've now unlocked a significant proportion of that map. So that's that really. What I would probably want to now is maybe show you a bit of this vehicle, and we can maybe look to getting all the way up here to the log station via the fuel station just to top up, and then back, top up again, and then come all the way back down to the lumberyard. So this was just to show you how to do the watch points. As part of this mission, you've got to unlock the garage points, which I'll show you at a different point as to what that means. But for now, just the log side of things. So let's just change the vehicle to get you a better idea of what to do. So we can just swap. So you can see we've got two of our heavy duty ones back here. So we'll just leave our vehicle, and you'll notice we don't lose it. It's just there, so we can come back to the A469 whenever we like. So it's the strategy of changing the vehicles too. So I'm going for this one over the other one. They're saying that I've never driven the other one before, so let's just swap to that one, just because I've never driven it. So you'll notice again, you can choose what you want to put on the back of it. So you can choose a whole host of things. If you want to be a fuel trailer, I know we can't put that one on because we need to move forward a bit, I think. That will allow us to carry fuel around, fill it up, and then we can act as a support vehicle in its own right to top up anyone. But we're actually going to be wanting to gain the lumber. So what we're going to be looking for is to attach some logs to this. So we've got a couple of choices. We can carry some short logs or medium logs. I don't know if we can get large logs on this one or not. Have a look. No, we've got log carrier medium logs, log carrier short logs, crane. No, we can only get medium logs in this. Let's go for a medium log cart. So let's get a log carrier, and then we can put a medium log cart on that. I think that's probably the best bet. We'll put a spare wheel on as well, because that'll give us some repair points. See what else we can attach to it. Fuel trailer on top of that, a little fuel system, crane support. Put a fireproof exhaust on. We're not doing a crane, are we? So I did the log carrier, didn't I? Yeah, that's done. So now we can put the medium log cart on it. That's all equipped. Don't think there's no point having the crane support because we've not got a crane, but don't worry about that, we'll get rid of that. Okay, so this will basically allow us to pick up some medium logs just to demonstrate. Go ahead with that. So it's the same principle. Start the engine, just whack the accelerator. And the advanced code, you got the spare wheel. So the only thing we could do with this is just heal ourselves for damage. With this, you've still got the same options. The 4x with the little Land Rover thing, we can put the 4x4, well, all wheels in this case, so 6x6, and you've got the diff lock. So let's just plan ourselves a little route as we did before. So we're going to come out of here, we'll come down the road, go up here. We're going to aim to go to the fuel station first. So this is a huge bit of river. I suspect we can cross some of it. Looks a bit boggy, so we'll avoid that. So let's follow this round. And this is actually part of the map I've never been to because I've done everything in that top part. Top right hand part before. So we'll get to here. We'll make a decision as to how we want to cross it, but ultimately we want to get here. So we'll just do it in that stage. We'll see how we get on. So I'm not going to put the diff lock on just yet. We might manage. Worst comes to worst, on rescue and things like that, we can always go and get our A-class vehicle to come out and top it up with some fuel or repair it. That's the idea of it. Yeah, you see, we are moving at a reasonable pace. You can't expect super fast speeds on this game. Just isn't going to happen, to be quite honest. No, the visuals of this are really good. I mean, if you look at the vehicle itself, it's really nice. You can zoom in and out. You can see it highlights your fuel tanks in your engine when you start it. And the tyres are really cool. The mud effects as well are really nice. Inside the actual inside of the vehicle, you can sort of explore vaguely with the right mouse stick. And if you press the horn, the hands are a little bit ropey in the way of graphics, but I don't think it really matters because it's not the point of the game. The point is it's a strategy game, I would say, to an extent, because you have to plan. It's a driving simulation game. It's not a racing game at all, but it's got the makings of a great simulator, and you don't really realise until you play it. The physics of the game are so good. Like just driving over that log, you could feel, even on a controller, you could feel yourself being dragged away in the direction of the log, basically. Just the way it would be in a real car, you know. Still no need for the diff lock. Once we've got that extra fuel, it gives us a bit of playroom to, breathing space to get up to the logging area. But just something to mention as well, it looks like a really big map. It is a big map, but you can cover it quite quickly, I think. So we're already here. We're not moving very quickly. The maps themselves do vary slightly. So say this one, for example, is the bog. So you expect there to be lots of boggy areas, and there is a part of the map in the middle that is just pure marshland, effectively. And you can get so stuck in there. But the other map, there's another one called the island. You can imagine, yes, you're on an island and you're surrounded by the sea. So you can get close to that. And also there's lots of rivers and very fast moving rivers as well. You can sort of get swept away on some of them as well, which makes for a bit of a challenge. And then you have to winch your way out of really sticky situations too. So I think we're really doing well on just four-wheel drive here. And do we even need four-wheel drive? I'm going to turn that off just to save a bit more fuel. Yeah, we do. We just stop moving. I think especially with the trailer. And the weight difference as well. When you're driving with no load, that's all well and good. But then when you add a load of logs to this, you end up basically bogging yourself down somewhat. Okay, there's a vehicle here we can unlock, so let's just go and do this. This might come in handy. You can blow the cover off it by putting the horn on. There we go. So that's another vehicle we can use if we call upon it. There we go. We'll just carry on our journey. Not getting too distracted with that, but that's how you unlock vehicles, and then you can access it again through this menu, just like we did before. I love the smoke effects as well. See that smoke billowing out. Not the cleanest of engines, are they? Look, we're already here. We've completely aced that. That's deep water. See where it's red? It's danger. You wouldn't take that A-class through that at all. You just wouldn't. So which way are we going to go? We need to work out if we're going to take... I think we're going to go straight. I'm going to take a punt on that. That looks like the shortest part. And on the way through, we can unlock this vehicle. And then this road should take us to the fuel station. and then we can show you how to refuel. So as our lights on, yep. Right, let's just get in the cockpit for a bit, because this is quite a tight part of road. When we go through the river, I'm going to stick the diff lock on, because we need as much traction as we can possibly get. Here we go. Now, run up would always be good. Oh my god, look at that flowing. That is a lot wider than I suspected. Now, if we can, putting that diff lock on. Now, remember I said you can attach yourself to a tree. What I might do for safety, and this isn't me overly worrying, I can assure you. It'd be nice if we could attach to a tree over the bank, but the winch doesn't go enough. But what we'll do, for safety as I say, is to use a winch point at the back of the vehicle. Oh, my fault. Attach the winch, use the back of the vehicle as part of the winch, and we'll attach that to something on the bank. So what that will do, if we do end up in trouble, we can pull ourselves back, and it's a precaution. We should be okay, and you can see our line is being held onto that tree. It's a dangerous water level. We can stall. I can't get there. No, that is too deep. That is way too deep. So we can't make that. So we use that winch to drag us back. Safety. There we go. But that's no good. We can't go that way. So let's whack our parking brake on and have another think. That's too deep. And I can only imagine it's going to be like that there as well. Let's just go and have a look anyway. Let's reverse. Let's take off the winch, release the winch. Oh, kind of messed that up there with the trailer. It's just, oh, don't want to go in too far there. There we go. Okay, we kind of want to go back on ourselves now. There's no point trying to cross that point because it's going to be no different to that one. These trees should just fall over. There we go. Okay, that's fine. Now we just need to go and have another think. So let's go down here. I think it might be calmer. Just clear all of our markers. Let's see if we can cross here. I don't know if that's better here or not, but we'll get there because there's no red marks on the water. Maybe that is better. We'll see. This is what I mean. We haven't. I know we've got the map available to us, but sometimes you just don't know until you get to places. We didn't know that was going to be too much for us until we got there. That mud really pulls you if you kind of catch it wrong. But hopefully we'll get to a calmer part now. So we're already at that point we say. It just looked a long way on the map, but it kind of really wasn't. We'll just lock that up there. So, oh, it is all like that. Oh, it's only when you get near you find out. Well, let's just go and have a look at it. It's just here. It might be calmer. That's not moving too quick. Right. Let's do the winch trick. And we'll attach to a tree. Off we go. Nope. Can't do anything there either. So that is flawed. Right. We just simply can't cross. Okay. Fine. That doesn't matter. You could take the long way around. We'll get to that fuel station eventually. What I'll do is I will leave that one there. So we know what we need to do, and we know what we're going to try and do is come back this way. So if we just plan the point, we'll catch this one on the way. And bear in mind, I've not been this way myself. And then we're going to go through this bog area, hopefully without running out of fuel. We'll get to here. We'll come along this way, I think. And then there's a slight cut through there, I suspect. You can't even get that trajectory on it, but yeah, we'll cut through there, and then the fuel station, we can navigate from that point onwards. It's a bit further, but in hindsight, if we'd have just taken that little cut through there, that might have been better. But as I say, I've not been this way before, so this is new for me. But hopefully you're getting an idea of the game. That's next on the agenda. We will leave it there. If you like it, just let me know if you're enjoying it, and we'll carry on. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much. Catch you later.